And welcome to Monterrey, where we are watching this all-important game at Universitario Stadium. Capacity of just over 45,000, and this is packed with eager Mexicans anticipating Mexico's first ever entry into the semi-finals of this World Cup competition, looking for their 7th win in World Cup today. They've been in 9 World Cups, and there we see this lineup of whom so much is expected by this nation.
And in the Mexican lineup, they're basically going with the same team that have gotten them through all of their victories up to now, with just the one notice at the time that Sanchez did not play. But Coach Milicevic is going with the same team and hoping to create Mexican history today.
And the referee and the linesman, what an immense task they have ahead of them today. The referee, Jesus Diaz Palacio of Colombia, only 31 years of age, the only Colombian participant in this World Cup, tasked with this immense job of refereeing this high-tension game, where so much is expected of this side. We keep saying that when we do the Mexican game, but it's absolutely true. This crowd just beside themselves with tension, emotion, and expectation.
And in the German lineup, there's one change. Rudi Völler is not playing, and in comes defender Andreas Braham. And we sort of wonder why that's happened, but I think Mr. Beckenbauer has brought in an extra defender, maybe to leave Briegel, Heinz-Peter Briegel, to go forward.
So lots of expectation. The wall already starting. Relatively cool day for Monterrey. No altitude problems in Monterrey. Heat problems. It's only 30 degrees Celsius in Monterrey. 60% humidity. So for Monterrey, where the West Germans last played and it was 38 degrees, a relatively cool day for them. And Germany in their white shirts and black shorts, a very typical outfit for Germany, and Mexico, of course, in their green shirts. But what an important game for Mexico.
And the last time these two teams met in World Cup play was in Argentina in '78, and West Germany won that game 6-0.
Heinz-Peter Briegel, number 2 for West Germany. He's known as the Waltz from Faust, which means the steamroller. And it's a very apt description of this huge man, very, very strong indeed, loves to go down the left side. He will be a distinct threat for Germany. And today, starting for Germany, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, who hasn't played very well in this World Cup to date, got his first start in their last game and therefore has the feel of the situation. And if Rummenigge, who has the ball now, has a good game, there will be a very strong chance for Germany.
And in that game in '78, when West Germany did win, there's only 2 players left on both the teams from that. One is Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, and the other is Hugo Sanchez. So they'll both remember that game.
And there is Sanchez in possession. So, early hesitant moments in this very important game. Both sides settling. Mexico playing with the enormous advantage of this totally supportive crowd. Amador pushing it out to the left side. Every time Mexico gets possession and push forward, there is a roar of expectation from this crowd.
Jeff, in my experiences in playing in some of these situations, especially down here in Mexico, when the crowd gets like this, very difficult to think and to even tell where your own teammates are, because they can't shout at you. So very difficult task for Germany, and almost like an extra man for Mexico.
Well, Hugo Sanchez, their great star, who plays for Real Madrid, as we see Mexico on the edge of the area, chipping across, and a desperate pass back to Tony Schumacher, who is very glad to fall on that ball. And the crowd again roaring tumultuously as Mexico penetrated the West German penalty area. Now a breakaway chance for Germany. But Pablo Larios challenged right on the edge of his area and throws it out to the left side. So these teams still in the early settling stages. And the atmosphere absolutely electric in this stadium. And this, a kick to Mexico given by Mr. Palacio of Colombia. 31 years of age, enormous pressure on this referee today. Sabine down the right side. And Germany will need to draw a upon all their experiences as the linesman's flag goes up for offside. They have a very, very impressive World Cup record. They've played in 11 out of the 13 World Cups, equal second to the great Brazil with Italy. And we saw Brazil go out earlier today in that dramatic game with France. But they played, before they came into this World Cup, 54 games in the World Cup. They won 31 of them, drew 11 and lost 12, and scored an immense 122 goals for and 78 against. So they will need all this experience, and they will need the calmness and precision that the stereotype of the West Germans leads us to believe and expect. Because this side, in the green jerseys of Mexico, are playing with emotion, and they are, without question, the best prepared Mexican side ever. Bora Milutinovic, the Yugoslavian coach, 7 years in Mexico, has done a good job, and we see number 17 overlapping, a chance of a cross, but over the goal line for a goal kick.
Mexico looking very strong in his first few minutes, and of course carrying the play. And I think that's, by the looks of it now, that's what Germany is going to let them do, carry it a little bit. But the Germans defend well, and they can counterattack very quickly, especially with the likes of Karl-Heinz Rummenigge.
But one would expect, Sam, that if Mexico were to score first, this crowd, first of all, would go berserk. But the impetus it would give to Mexico may make it very difficult even for these West Germans to handle. That's a foul, but the referee says play on. Germany in possession. Norbert Eder. Germany now looking to find men in space. A chip forward. Nodded on. The German threat on the edge of the box. Bremer well covered by two Mexicans, and the ball into touch for a Mexican throw. Pablo Larios had a lot of training dealing with high balls. Mexican coach decided that this was a weak area of his, so he spent many hours training to deal with high balls. And generally speaking, in the game so far, through the first round and second round, he dealt with them reasonably competently. One or two shaky moments, but generally handled them well. High ball towards the area by Mexico. Riegel nods it back to Tony Schumacher. The West Germany coming away down the left side. It's a foul on West Germany.
You can see the referee really having to blow his whistle there because it's very difficult for the players to hear. But one thing that Mexico shouldn't start to do is play on too much emotion. That tackle was a little bit late, and it was a bad tackle, and they'll have to be careful of it.
And down receiving treatment, Karl-Heinz Forster, very experienced West German defender, plays for VfB Stuttgart, 8 years in the international side, played in this World Cup in 1982, and is a very, very good tight marker. He may be given the task today of marking the great Sanchez, number 9 for Mexico.
And we've really not seen Sanchez as we know him as a tremendous goal scorer. He scored the one goal that we did see, but we know that he's got a lot of more goals in him, and if anyone's ever going to carry Mexico through the day, it could be Hugo Sanchez.
Still, neither side truly settled. Moving towards the 10-minute mark of this first half. West Germans back in numbers in defense and Mexico in possession. Serving keeps his feet, tries to get that ball through. West Germany playing it out coolly, Jakob. But to avoid too much thrill in the penalty area and be very solid and quick to that loose ball, because these Mexicans are mercurial, and that's a foul. So West Germany now with a free kick in a potentially dangerous position. Matthias claiming that foul. And we saw Matthias score from that set play against Morocco to bring them through to this quarter-final. The winner of this game playing France in the semi-final. So, kick to West Germany. Light breeze blowing in Monterrey, 30 degrees Celsius, 60% humidity, so this is a difficult situation to play. And here it comes. Driven, Larios, a graceful dive, collects that ball well, holds onto it safely, extinguishes that threat from West Germany from that free kick.
The fans let out a loud cheer as Larios dove on that ball, but I think you and I know he could have probably stood there and picked it up, and sometimes the acrobatics can cause you a problem because he may drop the ball. So he needs to make sure he saves the ball, but I don't think he needs to do the acrobatics.
Now Germany attacking. Klaus Allofs pushing across to the right. Matthias, that's a good ball if he has the pace. Berthold. But poor cross. Safely gathered by Mexico. Larios may get a touch of this, but instead it's brought out to the right side. So Raul Servin. Rummenigge coming across the cover. Pushed forward nicely. Hugo Sanchez. And that ball going astray. And Hans-Peter Briegel, the massive Briegel, playing with two Mexicans, but it's a kick. So it's another kick to West Germany. It's Diaz Palacio and Hans-Peter Briegel. It would be a great tragedy if he was to go off injured. It looks like the inside of the left knee. He's already missed one game in this World Cup through injury. And it would be a major loss to West Germany if their very powerful left back, who loves to roam so much up this left side, were to be lost to the German team so early in this game. Receives his treatment. And West Germany will wait to take this kick. Briegel is back. Seems to be fully mobile. So Andreas Bremer takes this kick for Germany. Can't make his mind up what to do with it. Mexicans marking tight. Berthold nods it in. Magath can't get to that ball in time. That's a dangerous high foot. Referee says play on. Advantage to Mexico. That could have been dangerous on Negrete. But Mexico is who come away with it. Hugo Sanchez tries to thread that ball into the box, but intercepted by Germany and then into touch.
The referee did well there, Jeff, to let the play go on, and it's good refereeing.
And the Labatt TV series will return after this match.